now we got all the blacks for the ground and all the power for the 12 volt power side on the solenoid. So what we're doing right now is we're installing the heat shrinks on all of them, so then we could just go ahead and heat shrink all the unions. We soldered everything, nothing here is crimped. So now we'll just put a heat shrink on all the wires, which I got 2 more to do here, and then we'll put the heat gun to it and get them into place. So this is the last one we got to put the heat shrink to. Alright, now we'll do them one by one. We'll start from the back and work our way to the front. Alright, so we'll get this gun on. Got this little jammy here from Harbor Freight, which works really good. This thing works pretty good. Continue. We got Dustin helping out with the wiring. We're actually cutting a couple of 10-inch pieces. That's going to go onto the fuse power block. He's definitely giving me a hand so we can finish this up while he's cutting the wires there. He's going to cut me 16 pieces of that because we already got the fuse power block in position, and now what we got to do is hook up all the little terminals and put the wires on there. Okay, so we got the rubber grommets in the hole all lined up. That's bolted, and we'll start feeding the relays because this fuse block is for the relays. We're going to feed all the relays. We're going to feed the multi-start retard. The MSD gets a battery power wire, so that's going to go straight to the battery. And then the wire from the battery is going to go to this block to distribute 12 volts. So we're getting to the end of this whole electronic hookup. So we're making our own harness. It's going to be the 10 gauge power wire that's going to go from the under the hood solenoid. Okay, and we're actually making our own harness because I'm using this this whole power system here, this whole fuse block with the MSD and the retard and all that's gonna power up my nitrous. Is gonna power up the line lock. It's gonna power up the trans brake. Oh, we ain't got no trans brake. It's gonna power up the rear fuel, the rev limiter. All right. So I didn't want to tap to the car's original harness. So we're actually running our own harness. We actually made it from scratch. And we're getting to the end of this, man. I think today we should be able to mount this up in there. We cleaned this up pretty good. Because this was crazy back here, you know. It was crazy. So that's the new harness. That's the homemade harness now. That's going to run off the fused power block. And all the hookups going to be right here. All the hookups going to be here because the box is going to be right here. The box is going to sit right up here. So all these wirings here is going to hook up to the fuse block. And it's going to feed everything. It goes that way. All right, those are power wires. This here is for the line lock, for the bang button, and the purge. It's tapping off the harness, the new harness here. So this is the controls for the line lock, the bang button, and the purge. And then it continues on over the column over there. See, that goes over the column to the other side. And we have the arming switch and the rear fuel pump switch is going to be there also. So this is it, man. We kind of cleared all this mess up. We had a look at this. All this was behind the dash and not done right. All that shit right here was under the dash too. All that wiring was under the dash. And of course I did that when I put the car together, but I never, it was something that I did pretty quick. But now we're gonna eliminate all that. All that's gone. And the only thing we're gonna see is the new harness that we made, which is gonna be that one. Okay, what we're doing now is we're gonna hook up the bang button. We need a nitrous bang button because as everybody knows, when you have nitrous, you could always purge. You can't really. Let me bring this up a little bit so you can see my face for a minute. Whenever you have nitrous, you always see the purge come out of the car where you press a button and you get that mist of nitrous going out into the air. But what you know, what they can't purge is the fuel. So my style is, what I do is I arm the nitrous system and I don't open the bottle. So I don't put no pressure into the bottle, into the line, to the nitrous line. I don't put no pressure in there. But I do arm the system. So when I arm the system, what I do is I'll rev the car up to about maybe 2,000 RPM and I'll hit the bang button. So the bang button will activate the solenoids and squeeze fuel into the motor. It bogs it out a little bit, but what I do is I tap the button just to let enough fuel go through the line to get whatever air may be in the fuel line. All right. When you have a bypass from your regulator, or bypass back into the tank, you know, it airs out, so there shouldn't be no air inside your fuel line. But I still like to bang the button with no nitrous pressure in the line, just fuel. That way I'm 100% sure that I have no air bubbles inside the fuel line. After I do that, then I open a bottle and then I purge the nitrous. So what I'm going to do is the bang button. I have this button here that I've had for a long time, I used to use it, but we had it located. Here's my shifter box. We had it located in the back, and it was perfect here because, you know, it was easy access when you had bucket seats. But now I got a bench seat on the car, so you can't really get to this now because it's right up against the seat. So I'm going to move it from here, and I'm going to put it here on the side. I already checked, make sure it clears. It doesn't going to hit nothing under here, the shifter or anything like that. And I'm going to actually mount it here. That way when I'm sitting in the driver's seat, I could just thumb it, bang, 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 and hit the bang button. So that's what we're going to do right now, is we're going to install this here. Actually, I drilled a hole already. I used one of these step bits, you know, and I drilled a hole already. It's kind of perfect, but it's got some burr in here. I'm going to try to get rid of some of this burr with a little file I have. And deburr this a little bit. See that? So then now we'll put the switch in here. We'll run the nut to it. Make sure you don't cross thread the nut on here because it's plastic. Very easy to cross thread it. Which right now it looks like that's what I'm doing. But there it is. Alright. Once you screw that outside lock nut, you're going to actually position this in a certain way where, you know, that's too close to the floor. So I'm going to actually aim it towards the front. I actually put it like that. The shifter goes this way, car's forward. Alright, wires are going to go under here, under the rug. It's going to go to the power source. So we'll leave that. We'll press the button back in here. Okay, and there we have it.